Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about rose pruning. It's the rose pruning time of the year. Late July is a very good time. The rose is dormant and we've had most of the frosts we're going to have, and in this area we don't really get too much in the way of frosts which can damage roses. So great time to prune so that by spring you have a fantastic looking rose. Okay, I've already started cutting back this rose. You can see this brown wood here, all dead wood. Now the wood here is too, the branch in here is too thick to cut with secateurs. So a good tool to have in your gardening collection is a pruning saw. With this one, it's got a lever, clicks into place, and you can prune some of the tree. So I'll just prune a little bit more of the rose.
So how do you know where to prune from?
Well, I'm cutting out the dead wood, and I cut the dead wood right back to the base of the branch. So, like so. You can see over here, I've pruned one bit of the stem here, which was all dead wood, and we've got live wood here.
And so how do you tell it's live wood?
Live wood's got some green on it, and another thing of interest, you can see different colour greens as to how old the rose is. So it gets this brown sort of look to it, and then the more recent wood, which is a more vigorous wood, is this lovely green colour here. Okay, so we've cut back some of the dead wood. I would continue to cut out all the dead wood before I continue on, and then I do what's known in the industry as a hard winter prune of the rose.
So if you don't cut the dead wood, Tim, what will
just
the
looks
difference
unsightly.
be? Okay.
So it's not going to damage the rose, but the whole idea of having a rose is that it looks beautiful.
Okay.
Dead wood looks ugly. Okay, so
once you've done all that?
Once that's been done, we can cut back the rose pretty much as hard as we want. If you want to cut it down to here, that's fine. A lot of people are scared that if they cut back an old rose really hard that it's going to die. It doesn't. And it's a good way of just replenishing an old rose.
Okay.
What I'm choosing to do is cut the rose back quite hard. You can see in this old wood, this scarring here. Now that's going to eventually have a new branch coming from a bud.
So it's like
where the scar is.
A knobby bit.
Yeah, like a knobby bit. Or
to use a technical term.
You can also see these little buds here as well. And
show me again. Sorry, I'm just coming
there's
in.
some buds here, which are just starting, and I think
they're on the green bit.
Yeah, and I think I also saw one along here, which is a new bud. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how to cut it because it's your garden, they're your roses. You can cut them to the height you like.
There's no wrong way.
Well, there is a wrong way of cutting back, but how far you go, I think, is a personal choice.
So what's the worst thing to do then?
The worst thing to do is to cut a rose, say you want that bud to grow there, is to cut it here.
Cut above it.
Well, to cut above it the distance I have. What can happen here is you have what's called dieback. What dieback is when the branch dies from top of the branch all the way into the stem. You can see there's some dieback here, and you've got a little bit of live wood there, which to me, just by the colour, looks a little bit unhealthy.
So when the green branch starts to change colour?
When it starts dying from the top down to the green live area.
And that's when you cut, when you leave too much, when you cut, you don't cut back
that's
enough.
right. So the way you need to cut it is you cut, I'll find a good branch. Oh, this one will do. We've got another bud here where that scarring is.
Zoom in. Yep.
If you go about ½ a centimetre above that bud, and with some nice sharp clean secateurs, cut it off.
Done. Okay.
Now a lot of people say that you need to cut it on a 45-degree angle. I think this is a bit of an old wives' tale because The thinking is that water will sit on the branch and you can get water-borne diseases such as black spot on rose. I think that that's a little bit of a tall tale.
Myth
I've
busting.
never seen raindrops sit on top of where you've cut it and lead to fungus. There might be people out there who disagree with me, but this is my segment and this is what I think.
All right, so
Yeah.
once you've done all of that,
Yeah.
you've cut them back as much as you can.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, yeah, so
Thank you, Truck.
dead wood. I'm going to cut this back really hard into the old wood, which makes a lot of people nervous. Doesn't make me nervous. Come springtime, it will grow up into a nice compact rose, whereas I think this one's starting to get a little bit big and leggy, whereas I wanted a bit more compact and to have more of a dense canopy, lots of flowers.
Okay, so what, do we come back later and see the end result?
We can come back later and see the end result, and leading into spring, so late winter, about halfway through August, it's a great idea to put some fertiliser into the soil. You can get special rose fertilisers, if not just a general fertiliser will do fine as well, and let spring take its course.
Beautiful. All right, thanks.